Hi guys, audible and visible. Hi Kashvi and Rhea. Hi everybody else. Everybody, each and everybody. A very warm welcome to the session. Good evening, guys. I can't say good morning. I can't say good night. So good evening is best. Hi Priyanka. Hi Ritu. Hi Anurag. Good to see you guys. Tejaswini. Hi. Palak. Hi. Attending an application class. Currently balancing both. Oof, Anurag. Some dedication you have. Okay. Aditya, yes, Mahadev. Muskan Tripathi, replicate your approach of handling an RC passage. Okay, to my surprise, was so smooth and enjoyable. Wow. Credit goes to you. You were able to apply that. Nice. Arey Mahadev. Best and all, kya hi bolu. Thank you so much for your appreciation, but we all are like, kya bolu, fallible humans. So best West use karna, it's like, Srishti, hi. Shraddha, hello. You are attending casually, okay. But Anurag, we are going to do some, what to say, critical work. Something that will involve a lot of thinking and a lot of analysis, a lot of critical thinking. So casual तो नहीं चलेगा. Morning, morning, खुशी. अरे मैंने पिछली बार भी बोला था मॉर्निंग मत बोला करो. गुड मॉर्निंग ये 12 बजे वाले मत बोला करो. सोए भी नहीं अभी हम. Alright guys, so how have you been everybody? Keshav, I'm good, hope the same for you. यार 12 बजे की क्लास के लिए हम लोग अगर मिलजुल के इतना एंथू भी निकाल ले रहे हैं ना, I think this is pretty fine. Yes, Anurag. Lend me your ears. We are going to have a very nice session. 10 questions. Hi Stuti, good to see you. Tejaswini, thank you for being there in the session. Kashvi, you too. Odd one out, Kashvi. उसका सेशन करवाऊं मैं. Stuti Agarwal, your name is very familiar. Batch 1. Shraddha, hi. Good, okay. Shubham, बहुत lethargic लगता है पूरे दिन. Hi Adarsh. Hi Pradeep. Shraddha, I'm happy my approach works for you. It really and truly depends on you, how well you copy it, how well you apply it, Shraddha. So, thank you so much for taking that and applying it. Weekend night, वही ना खुशी. कल भी मेरा एक सेशन है. क्या वीकेंड? कहाँ का वीकेंड? आप ही लोगों के साथ गुजरता है वीकेंड हमारा. I'm still waiting for some more to turn up. Not able to get confident. Abhishek, you have to follow some classes of mine. Because when we eliminate options, when we read our RC, when we handle our RC, I show the steps in such a way that you have to be confident. I mean, it will make you confident. आहूजा प्रशांत, आज हम 9 RCs कर रहे हैं. 9 RCs with just 1 or 2 questions in each, because we are going to do critical reasoning. अवरदीप की क्लास है. अवरदीप, अच्छा अवरदीप वाली स्तुति, राइट, मतलब उस बैच वाली, राइट, आई गॉट इट. स्तुति सुपर डुपर क्लासेस, यस. ओके आदर्श. Shoaib, this is the YT session. You mean on Sunday? Yeah, 2:30 we have got a Zoom that will be streamed on YT. All right, guys. Chit chat done. Okay. So, once again, welcome to the session, everybody. We are starting now. What are we doing today? Critical reasoning. See, I have to tell you something. When batch 1 and batch 2 did their classes with me, I think we did more or less, we did all the parts of critical reasoning. But I remember clearly in batch 1, we could not do the PYQs, critical reasoning PYQs, we could not do together. Okay, and I think even in batch 2 this happened, or I'm not exactly sure. But batch 1 mein to I remember very well. We could not do PYQs. So that was pending. Revision वैसे भी हमें करना है critical reasoning के concepts का. So I thought what better than bring it in my night class. Right. So we are going to start now. Ahuja Prashant? Yes, it has been raining here. Okay. So we will start now, but before we get on with this, I need to remind you that we are doing PYQs. Okay. So when you start doing these PYQs, Shoaib, with me, I know after some time you guys will say, अरे ये तो बहुत आसानी से बन जा रहा है. Ma'am, are you sure this is cat level? And then I will say, guys, this is cat. This is actual cat. Cat VARC is not as tough, as Herculean as we have projected it to be. We can do these questions like very easily, provided we know the techniques, provided we have a little bit of reading. We know where to connect our question. Okay. So, एक simple recap से हम start करते हैं. When we say critical reasoning, what comes under it? We have conclusions, inferences, then assumptions, strength, then weak and sub. But just for clarity's sake, I put conclusions and inferences separately. Okay? And when I say critical reasoning, like pure critical reasoning, I bring in assumptions, strengthen the argument, and weaken the argument. For all these three, it's important that you locate the claim, argument. Okay? So whether it's a small para or a big passage, there will be a claim, there will be a conclusion, there will be an argument, an assertion. What is that argument, Stuti? Something that the author is trying to convince us of. Okay? He may be saying temperatures are increasing every year. Or he may be saying marine pollution is increasing at an alarming rate. Or he may be saying plastic pollution is not completely the responsibility of the consumer. Or he may be saying metric fixation is not something very good. Or he may be saying the relationship between man and elephants these days is deliberately hostile. Or he may be saying Saturn and its rings are not that old as people earlier thought them to be. ये सब आपके cat passages का मैंने बोला. So the author can be making any assertion. He is trying to convince you of something. That is the claim. ठीक है? So चलिए, without further ado, we are going to start now. As I said, there are 10 questions today across 9 RCs. You'll have a great time. I promise you that. Okay? So everybody roll up your sleeves. Keep your chai, coffee, Red Bull or Green Bull or whatever you want, and let's roll. This is the first one. 2023. Okay? Post-colonial literature, world of the novel. So this is para 1. This is para 2. This is para 3, 4, all right, and 5. Now, if you read this para word for word, it's going to take you a hell lot of time and it's going to be very dense. On the other hand, if you handle it the way I have taught you, it'll be like really and truly easy, easier than the traditional method. Okay, so don't be in a hurry to solve the question. Just take a look at the passage. ठीक है Tejaswini and Anurag? What does it look like? Is it too much of data? Yeah, I think he has given too many names over here. Too many names, right? बहुत कुछ है. But I am going to read it in a different way. I'm going to handle it. For early post-colonial world of the novel, my new book explores another. Indian Ocean world. Gosh, this. Something to do with books. Okay. Novel. Author's book. Indian Ocean. इतना तो देख के बस यूं ही समझ आ जाएगा. ठीक है? Ahuja Prashant. All right. Now, I have also taught you one more thing, Tejaswini, and Arpita, and Keshav, and Satyam. I have taught you how to categorize a passage, right? Problem and solution, dominant hypothesis and author's point of view, or simply descriptive. For early this was often the nation. Can anybody categorize this passage the way I have taught you? Batao mujhe. I don't want you to read the passage yet. Just categorize it for me. Absolutely brilliant, Shubham. Very good. Dominant hypothesis and author's point of view. The world of the novel was often the nation. This is what people thought. Post-colonial novels were usually okay. Sometimes the whole story was taken as the allegory of the nation. The novel meant the nation. Why? It was post-colonial literature. Colonialism you should know as cat aspirants, right? Whether India or Tanzania. But there's a a discrete but here, invisible but. But my new book explores another kind of world. You see this? Yes. Not the village or this, but the Indian Ocean world. Now in the rest of the passage, he will explain the Indian Ocean world. Right? If you're running short of time, just take a look at the first lines. Indian Ocean world is a term used to describe, right? He's explaining what the Indian Ocean world. Common sense tells me Indian Ocean is like, right from Africa to India, so probably it connects the southern hemisphere type, aisa. Not southern hemisphere exactly, but then okay, the Indian Ocean wala countries it connects, right? For their part, and then he talks about some other authors, right? And then this para says this remapping is particularly powerful, Africa. Itni hi der mein, like even without reading, we have understood it involves a lot about Africa and Indian Ocean world, and it's some dominant hypothesis that was there. The novel used to be the country, the nation. Why? Because post-colonialism, the countries used to be very pidit. Okay, they would be like a bird trapped in chains, and then they would get free post-colonial, and then authors would come up and they would write. They would kind of vent out their emotions about the country, about the motherland. They would show all the patriotism that they could muster, and they would write the whole novel. The whole novel would be Kaun? No Sati, no Savitri, no Devi, no Durga, nobody but the country. The country would be the allegory. Got it? This is how easily you can handle a passage without reading too much. But yes, okay, for the questions you need to handle. Abhi kya hoga ki if you read the passage in 4 or 5 minutes, when will you get time to handle the questions? What does the question say? There is only one question here for this passage. all of the following statements if true. Don't be in a hurry. If you are going to be in a hurry, anybody from the audience, you are in the wrong kaksha. Everybody is here to learn. Like, some tidbits, some gyan points, subtle points. All of the following statements if true would weaken the passage's claim. By what is the claim? It's given right here. And then it says except. It is not if false. So if true is very normal. If true means hypothetically. All right. Would weaken. So all would weaken. Weaken, weaken, weaken. There is one that could be neutral or strengthen. We are looking for this. All of the following would weaken the passage's claim about what? The relationship between mainstream English language fiction and Indian Ocean novels. Just by that glance at the passage, I know that yes, Indian Ocean novels have been discussed, but mainstream English language fiction is not scattered in the passage. So it must be in some para. Keep your presence of mind intact. You're getting the point, right? So you need to check this. Weaken the passage's claim about the relationship between mainstream English language fiction and Indian Ocean novels. You need to check this point because the claim is not written here. But they have given you the connect. So go back, check that portion. But before solving any question, you need to take out the main idea, all right, plus that para. Got it? Chalo, let's go back. Handle the passage the way you want. We are done. This para focuses on globalization and all, and this one talks about something else. So we are done. You have to have that interpretation to tell me where we are going to connect this. Has anyone been able to locate that? The 4-5 paragraphs are very distinct. हर para में एक अलग essence है. So Shoaib, which para are we going to check for our claim? Bolo guys. Very good, Shubham and Shoaib, and very good, Tejaswini. Yes, this part. Why? Because it says here reference a different set of histories and geographies than the ones most commonly found in fiction in English, mainstream English novels. Right, Anurag? Yes, Ria. Those commonly found are mostly centered in Europe or the US, okay? A quick reading. Mention places like Paris, New York, oh, a lot of data is here. Lot of data in this para. Go back to the options. What kind of options are they? Quickly check them and you decide how we are going to solve it. This question can be done in literally 40 to 45 seconds, I'm telling you. And this is real cat. Not from very long ago. Shoaib, wait. Yeah, we are going to play elimination. Yeah. Listen guys, listen. Please make a habit of writing this. If I tend to forget what I'm looking for, I'm sure even you guys can make the mistake. Right, Anurag? We are looking for three that we can. Tejaswini, we can. Ria, we can means opposite of what's given in the passage. Now, here I want to give you a Gyan point. Before we hit the answer, we need to understand this point. Sun lo. This works. Okay. Here in the question stem, they have not given you the claim Shubham. Right? Generally in your sectionals and mocks, you will see the claim is given there. Which of the following would weaken the claim? That. Right, Pranav? Don't be in a hurry to mark the answer. Hear me out. Anurag. So, Pranav. So, in the question stem, the claim should be given. Would weaken the claim? That. Would strengthen the claim? That. And then the claim. ठीक है, Ria? In this case, the claim has not been given. They have just said the relationship between mainstream and this. That means connected with the para. Right? This means we are simply going to do true, false. Why? Because there's a lot of data in that paragraph and based on that data, they must have set these options जो कि उसके opposite ऐसा हो. Are you able to understand what I just said, Stuti? Do you get my point, Pranav? Adarsh, Ria, you get my point, right? When I see these, yes, these are like, must be given there, must be there, connected there, Priyanka, right? So what are you supposed to do? Just take the points, okay? Check the points, go back and eliminate. You are supposed to look for 3 weaken. That means 3 false. 3 opposites of what's given in the passage. Now I'll give you one more thing. Ruk jao. Don't be in a hurry. One more thing. Why? Because I have to save time. सोच के देखो Ritu, Aditya, Karan, Stuti. If I start checking each and every option, it's going to take a lot of time. Right? It will take a lot of time. So what am I going to do as the first step? Even before I go to the para and read, I'm just going to quickly skim through the options and see if there is, there will be traps or there will be like, extreme sounding in 3. But yeah, there will be one that will sound a little balanced. ठीक है? So, a quick glance de do. Okay, that's the next step. Come on, guys. Most and all, critical reasoning, strength and weaken may do not eliminate on the basis of most. Most, many, none, no, never, all, always, inevitably, सब answer हो सकता है in critical reasoning, weaken and strengthen. Can we please just check the options? Most have historically privileged the Christian white male travel adventure. Right? The depiction of Africa, okay, Orientalist check karna hoga. Very few have been set in American. Oh, I know what to do right now. Shoaib and Shrey and Abhishek. What am I going to do after just glancing at the options? Okay. I am going to check Christian first and American and European first. Why? Because remember I gave one technique long back. Name, place, animal, thing, era, date. When you are doing your true-false questions, Stuti and Ritu, apply this. Name, place, animal, thing, era, date. If you see some nice looking, plum looking words, some names, kuch bhi, utha lo usko, those will be very easy to verify. So I know I'm going to check Christian and American and European quickly. American, European kuch to diya hua tha wahan. Just check here. Trust me, within 40 to 45 seconds, you will be done with this question if you're doing it on your own. What does it say here? America and किसका बोला है इसने? ये बोला है इसने, American and European metropolitan centers. Very few have historically been set in this. You get this point here. Check it, read it. Ritu, is it true or false? ये बता दो. Come on. ये वाला पहले कर लो. Are we done? Very few have been historically set in this. Just play true false. Trust me on this. Yes, C is false. We got it? Everybody? है ना Shoaib? Look here. Depiction of Africa. Last para. है ना? In most post-colonial nostalgia for a beautiful past. Idyllic is what? Beautiful. Sundar. Right, guys? You need to check this. Go. It connects with a line here. Tejaswini. Srishti. Come on, guys. Which line? Can you tell me, please? Mahima. I want you to tell me. कौन से line से connect करेंगे? Yes, Shubham, brilliant. This does not mean that this is romanticized. By migration was a matter of force. Travel was abandonment. Freedoms were kept from women and slavery was rife. You see this? Right, Tejaswini? Shubham? Yeah? So, it wasn't romanticized. It wasn't as if it was a bed of roses. Go back to this. The depiction of Africa in most Indian Ocean novels is driven by a post-colonial nostalgia for a picturesque past, for a beautiful past. True or false? Bolo. Not romanticized. So, Anurag, what should I say here? True or false? Shivam, very good. This is false. We are left with these two. है ना? Check कर लो. The depiction of Africa is driven by an Orientalist. You can check Orientalist, right? Driven by an Orientalist imagination. Where is Orientalist? निकालो. Orientalist का meaning आपको पता होना चाहिए as cat aspirants. Okay? Was it inspired by Orientalist? Not exactly. So this is false. This is your answer. Did you understand the logic, the way of solving, the technique, the subtle points that went into this question? Everybody. Did you understand this? Yeah? Now, you must be having a doubt. The paragraph, fourth paragraph, clearly talks about Christian and white. Orientalist means connected with Far East, China, Japan. Oriental, Occidental, Occidental. Occidental is Western, Oriental is East. Mrigank, good to see you there. Ahuja Prashant, is it clear? Now, most mainstream English language novels have historically privileged the Christian white male experience of travel and adventure. Now, another Gyan point here. Guys, don't apply external knowledge. Okay? See, you have been reading a lot. Victorian era ka reading hona chahiye. With external knowledge, I know that in the Victorian era, women were not allowed to travel. Okay, travelogues were there, but only of men, because men were allowed to travel. Okay, I'm not applying that. ठीक है तेजस्विनी, but when I see this, most mainstream English language novels have historically privileged the Christian white male experience of this. अरे ये तो correct है, but I can't apply external knowledge. Let me go and check. Christian white male. What is my work now? To prove it, right? Look here. Christianity and whiteness. Where is the male thing? Male is not given here, right? But look here. Portrayed as this, women and slavery is rife, and this whole passage here, it's focusing on this thing, most commonly found in this, and highlight instead a largely Islamic space. Imagined, okay. So, between all these four, you have to select one that is the closest, that is neutral or it strengthens. ये क्या कह रहा है? If true would weaken the passage's claim about this, so three are definitely false. They weaken. This one can strengthen or it can be neutral. So even if the male thing is not given there explicitly, at least you can understand that Christian and white, and if you consider the male thing, it can, it can even be neutral, right? So this is your answer. Clear, Priyanka? Next, Residents of Lozère, again from 2023. Okay, what does the passage look like? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 paragraphs only. And what does the question say? Would weaken the author's claims. Bhai, likh ke rakh lo mrigank meri baat. The claim is not written here. Simple, you have to do true, false. Would weaken, you are looking for one that will be false. The other 3 will be true or they can be neutral. But in this case, they have to be true. Got it, Shubham? Okay? So, now this passage is on wolves. आप देख लो यहाँ पे. अब यहाँ पे एक चीज बताती हूँ. Let's say you're running out of time. 5 minute बच गए आपके पास. And you want to do one question from this passage. You can pick this one and you can handle it in 5 minutes. Check the main idea. Go to the options then and verify every option. Right? जब आप पैसेज अगर पढ़ रहे हो for the entire, like for all the questions, तब तो ठीक है. But अभी चलो अब आप check करो what is the main idea. Is this problem solution? No. Is this dominant hypothesis? No. This is simply, I think it's a descriptive passage. Okay? Take a look at the first para. The predators are creeping back. Okay? Must be taken in hand. Right? Look at the last 2 lines of the first para, Kumkum. I always say the last 2 lines of the first para should be read. है ना Pranav? Tejaswini. Tourists enjoy visiting a wolf park in Lozère, but farmers fret. Oh, so everybody is not worried about the return of the wolves. Farmers are worried because of their livestock and their livelihoods. 2 reasons. But tourists enjoy visiting a wolf park in Lozère. Right? Done. Check the first line of every para. But reappeared, connect with this. Okay, who grumbles? The last line. Farmers who say the wolves caused the deaths of this are less cheerful. Wolves have spread, delighting environmentalists who see the predators, okay, but farmers, last line of the first para, right? They are unhappy. They grumble that green activists and this have returned. All right, Abhishek, come on. You don't need to read this whole para. ऐसा कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. Just check, skim. Okay? Skim means take the keywords. Do vertical reading. ठीक है स्तुति? And the last para, please read. Farmers की पीड़ा की बात की गई है. Environmentalists celebrate the predator's return. Very easy to understand passage. ठीक है? Then you can do the other 3 questions also since you have read. वो अलग सी चीज है. But now you have to control the question, Ritu. Tejaswini, Abhishek. This is what type? You have to play true false because the claim is not given here. Right? लिख लो sheet पे अपने. Would weaken. एक weaken करेगा. एक. The others will be true. Okay? चलो. अब ये question का मैं क्या ही बोलूं? You know, I mean, this you can solve within 30 to 40 seconds if you have already checked the first para very well. You have like done your main idea. 30 seconds में you can see. अरे एक false होना है. There is one option that goes against the passage. So that should be the answer. Right? Yes, Kumkum. Yes. Farmers की पीड़ा है पूरे passage में. Environmentalists are happy, tourists are happy, farmers are depressed. We know that. That is the main idea, the return of the wolves and how different types of people, how different people are affected by it, by the return. Correct, Muskan? So yes, this is indeed false. Wolf attacks on tourists. Is attacks are on the rise? No. Till the last line he has said, when you use animal spread also generate income and jobs. Right? The others must be true. Having migrated out in the last century, they are now returning. Main idea. This is true. Indeed. The old mining sites, we just need to check mining. बहुत easily locate हो जाएगा. Unemployment concerns the residents. Take unemployment and take mining. Quickly दोनों को verify कर लो. Mining is here. You can check. A once flourishing mining industry. Done. Okay. And then unemployment concerns. This is connected with the main thing. Concerns the residents of Lozère. आप यहाँ जाके देख लो ना. ये farmers, ये, right? Grumble about a lack of local schools and all. Are they talking about unemployment? Yes. Livelihoods. Right? यहाँ दिया हुआ है. They cross this, and here this para talks clearly about that. Rural depopulation. Supported a population. Today the department has fewer than this. Forests are expanding. Covered by this, and then today. So from here and the previous one, we understand that is the concern. और यहाँ tourist venues में also generate incomes. Hang in there, guys. Income and jobs. Mrigank. No. Mrigank, I get your point. The last line of the passage here. Parks where wolves are kept and animal spread is discussed. Also generate this. This is talking about tourist venues. Mrigank. Overall, the general thing is here. Livelihoods. This is connected with that. Yeah? No, Dream Crew, no. You don't need to check. True, false may you do not need to verify. Like if I see this, bhai, क्लियर है ये तो, tourists are not getting attacked by the wolves. False, and that is my answer. You don't need to spend time and verify all the others. True false में मैं generally POE नहीं करती हूँ. Done? Okay, चलो. Positivists. मृगांक. Positivists, a very dense looking passage. 3 paragraphs only. ये अभी 2023 में आया है, 2 साल पहले. ओके, सो ऐसा भी दे सकता है. नाउ लिसन, if it's such a dense passage, you will get more questions connected with main idea and specific sentence inference. ठीक है, चलिए क्वेश्चन पहले देख लेते हैं. All of the following, if true, can weaken the passage's claim that. Now the claim is given right here. You see this? This is not true false wala. In this, you have to properly weaken this, you have to go against it. But first, go back and read that line. First the main idea and then that line. Facts do not speak for themselves. Okay? All can weaken. So weaken, weaken, weaken. One will be neutral or it can strengthen. Right? है ना? So, all will weaken. First, यहाँ step क्या होता है? Understand the claim. Second step, go and locate it. If you want, you can read a little bit over there. यहाँ facts वाला. Main idea पहले clear कर लेना है. ठीक है? Except. चलिए. You see this? So, this is dominant hypothesis or what people believed. Okay? That facts speak for themselves. Oh, this is untrue. The facts speak only when historian calls on them. He decides, okay, blah, blah, blah. I would read this much. Got it, Shubham? Let's go to the options now. If you have written this, if you have decoded this, you will be able to solve it. Okay. Come on, Shoaib, Stuti. Eliminating C and D. Very good, Anurag. But why? Last slide once again. Yes. Please check again, Pranav. Untrue means do not speak for themselves, right? This is what he's saying. So facts do not speak for themselves. कौन control कर रहा है? speak only when the historian calls. He decides what order or context. Battle was fought, okay, okay, okay. This shows how selective things are filtered down the lanes of history and given to the people. Okay, so keep this ready. All will weaken. Facts do not. So you have to say, you are going to say, they speak, right? They speak, right? They speak. यही तो बोलना है आपको. Facts do speak for themselves. And then there will be one. That's what we are looking for. Right? Yes, it is B. Well done. Very good. How? For those of you for whom it's not clear, I'll explain. The truth value of a fact is independent of the historian who expresses it. So, fact speaks for itself. The passage says, the author says, the historian controls it. He gives it context. यही बोला है ना स्तुति. The historian controls it and he gives it context. He gives it meaning. Correct, Shubham? Anuj? This one says the truth value is independent of the historian. So facts speak for themselves. Right? So ye, truth value is independent of the historian. This goes against it. The paragraph says the historian controls it. है ना? ये कह रहा है, no, they speak for themselves. Do not speak, let's say they are mute. They are dumb. We have to say, no, they are not dumb. They speak. So this is opposite, right? Independent of the historian, kumkum, है ना? A fact by its very nature is objective and universal. Irrespective of the context, by passage में बोला है, the last para says, Tuti, the historian gives it context. So this is opposite, right? This is giving facts power. Oh, facts are powerful. They are objective, they are universal. They don't need a context, they speak for themselves. Right? This is opposite. The order in which a series of facts is presented does not have any bearing on the production of meaning. Go back and check. Order or context. Right? So this is again opposite of what's given. You have to just pick those words and look for opposites. This is as per the paragraph. Facts, like truth, can be relative. The historian gives it context. What is fact for this may not be for this. Got it? This is not independent. It is placed in context. It is given order. It is given sequence. By whom? By the historian. So this connects with what is given in the passage, in the last para. Is it clear, everybody? Ahuja Prashant, is it really clear to you? Priyanka, Kumkum, done? Okay. Brilliant. So far, so good. So this was question number 3. Anurag, all good so far? Tejaswini, Pranjal, Bhuvan, great. Chalo. Umberto Eco, again 2023. Italian writer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ये देख रहे हो यहाँ नजर पड़ गई मेरी. They should not be short sentence technique. What is the passage about? We'll see now. Just check the question. Weaken author's conclusion in the final para. Oh wow. This is something similar to which of the following would weaken the main idea of the passage. Conclusion is always connected with the main idea. We know this. Research findings simply means if true. ठीक है आहूजा प्रशांत? Would weaken the author's conclusion in the final para. Stuti. So, we need to know the main idea. All right, I'm taking you back. Check. Don't read too much. This is all data. I would leave it. Just skim. Okay. In my critical reasoning classes, I have said this. Should or should not be. That is part of the claim. Now, do you realize there's a lot of data here? Stop. Don't read everything. I'm here to teach you how to handle this passage and the question. Place your trust in me. Okay, now. Cat somehow loves Netflix. There was another passage on Netflix, I think it was there in 2024. Yeah, 25 में था. That OTT platforms these days are removing their content and the public is left high and dry. Okay, that was the angle in that passage. What is the angle in this passage? First, you have to get that clear. If your main idea is not clear, I'm sorry, but things won't work out. Okay, so don't be in a hurry to mark the answer right now. We are not playing the fastest finger first wala. You have to understand the points. Umberto Eco, an Italian writer. Don't mind the chewing. I have just placed some cloves and peppercorns in my mouth to battle that coughing bout that I got. Okay, Umberto Eco, an Italian writer, was right when he said the language of Europe is translation. Okay, Netflix and other deep-pocketed global firms speak it well. Language of Europe, baat language of Europe ho raha hai. Yes, Pranjal. Translation. We know all the series and movies on OTT platforms these days are translated. Just as the EU, European Union, employs a small army of translators and interpreters to turn intricate laws or this, okay, so do the likes of Netflix. That also interprets, translates ESA. What does it do? It now offers dubbing in 34 languages and subtitling in a few more. Is the passage on Netflix or OTT in general or between or two countries or two continents, Europe and America? What is it? What am I going to do? I know the question is connected to the last para, but I'm going to check the first line of every para. How do you pick the important lines? Learn that here. The economics of European productions are more appealing too. ये देख रहे हो? Economics are more appealing too. American audiences are more willing than before. Oh, so American audiences want to watch European programs. Europeans want to watch American programs. कुछ इस तरह का. This means shows such as Lupin, वगैरह वगैरह, सब data. Leave it. Not everything works across borders. Oh, here he says the economics are appealing because the economics are more appealing because people across the borders, people across the pond, that is the Atlantic Ocean, people are willing to, more willing than before to give this a chance. They're willing to watch. Then all data, bullshit. And then here he says not everything works across borders. So the next para says, oh, but everything doesn't work. कुछ तो थोड़ा ऐसा भी होता है, प्रॉब्लम भी होती है. कॉमेडी समटाइम्स स्ट्रगल्स. अब मुझे नहीं जानना कौन कौन स्ट्रगल करता है, हु डन इट्स, ये सम डू इट बेटर, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. यूरोप इज एन एजिंग कॉन्टिनेंट. द जनरेशन ऑफ टीन्स स्टेरिंग एट फोन्स इज आउटनंबर्ड who prefer to gawp at the box. Done? Very crisp. If you start reading too much, you won't find it crisp. In Brussels, Belgium ka capital, and national capitals, the prospect as a cultural hegemon, controller, is seen as a threat. Now he's coming down to some important points. Netflix as a cultural hegemon, it captures the markets, it captures cultures, it is seen as a threat. Cultural sovereignty is the watchword. Okay, आगे जाने दो. Now we come to this, but ultimately the big decisions rest with American executives. This makes European politicians nervous. Oh, but they should not be nervous. European politicians, picture le aao samne Europe. Okay. The European politicians are nervous. No, they should not be. The author says, why? Why? Then he gives some explanation here and a lot of data here. Okay? So, we are done with this much. Now, if you have this much of data here, and the question connects with the last para, hoga kya? You're going to read all this now, and then by the time you reach the question, you will forget. So it's better to read this much and this much and then go to the question. Got it, Arjun and Mayur? Okay. So itna pad lo, question pe chalo, and then you can come back. Something, this is data. Last mein, I'm not focusing on this. This is the most important part of the passage. They should not be. An irony of European integration is that it is often American companies that facilitate it. Look at the economics. Google Translate makes this, ye, आगे बताया उसने. Options. Take a look at the options and you decide how to handle it. Oops, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I'm saying here if we check the options, we know that this will be the quickest to verify, right? है ना? Enjoy watching romantic comedies and all. Last में दिया हुआ है. Research shows that Netflix hits produced in France are very popular with North American. You can check this and this, right? The other two are general. It will be a little difficult to verify these, but I think these two can be verified first. Right, Anurag and Kumkum? This is what we do. Got it? ठीक है? Go back. यार यहाँ पे आप अगर देखो ना, ओम शुक्ला ऋतु एक ही चीज बोल रहा है, एक ही चीज, बार 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 बार, हजार बार. Now Netflix and friends pump the same content. If Europeans are to share a currency, look at this claim, look at the assertion. Bail each other out in times of this. Then they need to have something in common. Even if it is just binging on the same series, Desperate Housewives, let's say, or Friends, or Big Bang Theory. Binging on the same series ही क्यों ना हो, but they need something common, something in common. स्तुति, पहले समझो इस point को. Main claim क्या है in the last para? What is the conclusion? The conclusion is this. Both the continents, they need something in common, even if it is just binging on the same series. Watching fictitious northern and southern Europeans tear each other apart 2000 years ago beats doing so in reality. I'll explain this last line later, but for now, this is the portion that contains the conclusion. You have to simply weaken, you have to say the opposite of that. No, no, no. No, Mr. Author, no. Come on, which one? Opposite of what's given? बोलो स्तुति. Aditya, A, okay. B, Stuti. Yes, Tejaswini. They need to have something in common, guys. Claim, identify karo. Conclusion, identify karo mrigang. Even if it is just binging on the same series. Right? I will weaken it by saying there is nothing in common between them. Yes, come on, Prashant. है ना? I will say, I will weaken him by saying, oh, there is nothing in common between the two. Correct? So, which option is that? Yes, it is B. Well done. Research shows there is a wide difference in the popularity and viewing of Netflix shows across this. He says it should be same. There should be some common point. ये कह रहा there is a wide variance. Right? You got this? Prashant and Mrigank and Shoaib and everybody? But एक चीज यहाँ बताना चाहूंगी. Right from my heart, like a genuine point. This question, this particular question, although connected with the last para, was slightly tricky. This would take up a little extra time. So you have to realize this, Shoaib and Stuti and Mrigang. In the exam, if something is taking extra time, within 30 to 40 seconds, you have to realize that, oh, ये ना उतना आसान नहीं है जितना normally होता है. I need to leave this or save it for later. Got it? Otherwise, if you take it on your ego कि मैं तो करके ही दम लूंगा, अब करके ही निकलूंगा, 6 minutes, 7 minutes you spend on one question, it's not worth it. Is it clear? Kumkum and Shoaib and Ria and everybody. Right? Done. Move on. Chaliye. Now this was a very, very nice passage. Very nice one, Priyanka. 1 para, 2, 3, and then there's one more, I think, 4. This talks about what? Biggest challenge throws down is to prevailing understanding climate crisis. Oh, what is he talking about? वो क्या कह रहा है? Some book, Nutmeg's Curse, by Ghosh, and then he talks about climate crisis. Oh, okay, something confusing. then we know we are facing more frequent, okay, climate crisis. Show once more none of this is new. There have always been changes, okay, looked at other civilizations. Ye kuch aisa para. There are points of view that we can hear today if we listen hard enough. Climate, oh, got it. The passage is centered around climate change, but the author is trying to say it's not something new. It has been there. So probably he'll take us back into the pages of history and show how this was there earlier also. All right, what does the question say? Which of the following, if true, would make the reviewer's choice of the pronoun who inappropriate? Critical reasoning question है, बिल्कुल स्तुति विनीत. If true है ना, this inappropriate means weaken. This is such a great question. Specific point CR. Got it? But please first take out the main idea and then go to that part. Till here he goes on and on about some data. He explains why. You see, the last para gives us some important points. But the Gaia who wala point is here. Are these the responses of an angry Gaia who has finally had enough? By using the word curse in the title, he thinks so. I use the pronoun who knowingly because Ghosh has quoted many non-European sources to inquire, okay, world, all right. चलिए, बहुत सिंपल सा वो है इसका क्वेश्चन का ऑप्शंस. दिस इज ट्रूली सिंपल. आप पढ़ो और मुझे बताओ. I'm left with two choices in this. Bolo Stuti, which two choices are you left with? Sure, Debojit. The question says, which of the following, if true, मतलब मान लो इन लोगों ने ये किया, मान लो घोष का बुक ने ये लिखा, मान लो नॉन यूरोपियन सोसाइटीज ने ये किया, मान लो ये. Okay, Ankur? Yeah. So if true, would make the reviewer's choice of the pronoun who inappropriate. For this, you need to know why he used who for Gaia. Right, Debajit? Yes, Ahuja Prashant, exactly. I'm left with A and C. Well done. Why does he use who? Then only you will be able to weaken it, right? We know our this, this, this. Are these the responses of an angry Gaia who has finally had enough? By using this, I use the pronoun who because Ghosh has quoted many non-European sources to inquire into the relationship between humans and the world around them so that he can question the prevalent way. Look at this, the prevalent way of looking at Earth as an inert object to be exploited. Just read that portion. You will get your answer in a jiffy. Correct. The author is saying Gaia ko who to show what? That it's a living thing. It's a living being. है ना? Who? It's active. It's animate. यही कहना चाह रहा है ना? Now, go back. Inanimate and non-living. दो ही तो बच रहे हैं मृगांक, है ना तेजस्विनी? A और C. Why are you eliminating A? बताओ मुझे. Why C and why not A? What is it in C? If you are marking this your answer, you should know it with the reason. हाँ मुस्कान, you're on track. Yes, Ahuja Prashant, back. Very well said. चलो अब आप देखो. बोल Prashant, between A and C, what is your answer? Yes, Muskan, you nailed it. Very good, Shoaib. यही करना था बस. Left with A and C. What is the difference between the two? Modern Western science and non-European societies. Go back and check. बाकी तो same. Have perceived the earth as this. New evidence for the earth being this. One talks about modern Western science. One says non-European societies. Go back and check. The para talks about this. Yeah. Right? So non-European societies is mentioned in the paragraph. The author talks about them. He says here what? Okay. I use the pronoun who because Ghosh has quoted many non-European sources to inquire into the relationship so that he can question the prevalent way. So he has quoted non-European sources. If he has quoted them, and if that's there in one of the options, why not go with that? Is it clear? ठीक है, इसमें भी inanimate, इसमें भी non-living, दोनों same है, right? Exploited doesn't mean change. Exploited means you are using something too much beyond its capacity. Okay? Inanimate और non-living दोनों एक ही चीज है. All right? चलिए next. Oh, I love this passage and this question. So we are done with 5. We are moving on to question number 6. What is it about? The Met Museum है. अब इतना पता ही रहता है. Agreed to return this. Oh, masterpiece. Oh, maybe about repatriation, cultural property or patrimony laws. Okay. During the late this era, something. Okay, lots of data. Souvenir collectors, patrimony laws. And how repatriation happens. Okay. I surveyed 90 countries with this. Okay. Strict cultural patrimony, cultural property law. Everywhere I can see that. So, okay, it's clear. It is about cultural patrimony laws. It's about repatriation. It's about returning the excavated stuff that one country stole from another. This is what it says. ये देखो, culture property laws. Okay, we have 2 paragraphs here as well. China, something about China, Chinese government. पूरी दुनिया एक तरफ, China एक तरफ. कुछ अलग बता रहा है. Which of the following statements, if true, would undermine the central idea? What a lovely question. Yes, Shubham. Kishan. Critical reasoning weakening और strengthening में कोई extreme words की वजह से eliminate नहीं करते. Undermine the central idea. भाई central idea तो निकाल लो पहले. Come on guys. देखते हैं कितना अच्छा आप locate कर सकते हो main idea. ना तेजस्विनी, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. मेन आइडिया में कोई TTTF नहीं खेलता है. मेन आइडिया एक ही है पूरे पैसेज का. वो लोकेट करो पहले एंड देन यू गो अगेंस्ट इट. यू से नो यू आर नॉट राइट, वीकेंड करना है. Just some time back, I guided you about how to locate claim and conclusion. Let's see if you remember that. Chalo. Check the options once and you can eliminate. Weaken. The others would be neutral, strengthen, or neutral or strengthen, neutral or strengthen. You're looking for this. Question 6. Back, yes. Yes, Shoaib, exactly. That's the main idea. चलिए. Seriously, Riya, Ritu, Ankur. Central idea. Now, I'm not disclosing the answer yet. You have to understand समथिंग अबाउट मेन आइडिया, वरना फिर फायदा क्या हुआ मेरे साथ यहाँ बैठ के। ठीक है शोएब, कुमकुम, रिया। 2006 the Met agreed to return this data. ठीक है प्रशांत, डेटा, एंड इन दिसंबर ये डेटा। ओ फर्स्ट पैरा नहीं पढ़ रही हूँ मैं ज्यादा। ठीक है शोएब, आदित्य, इट्स डेटा, मेन आइडिया तो है ही नहीं। Cultural property limit the transfer of cultural property outside the source country's territory, including outright export prohibitions and national ownership laws. Most this portray cultural property laws in general as invaluable tools for counteracting this. Again, this is data, right? So most art historians and all, ye. What is your idea, Mr. Author? What are you trying to say? It says here, I surveyed this with this, okay, archaeological site on UNESCO's world, and my study shows, okay, the number of discovered sites diminishes sharply after a country passes this. Now, for those of you who did not understand, what is a cultural property law? Let's say it's India. So India passes cultural property law. That means whatever you excavate here, you cannot take out of the country. So let's say there is a rich country, the rich country comes and does some excavation work here in India, and then because of the cultural property law, it cannot take back the excavations, it cannot display those things in its own country. So why the hell is it funding so much? So that's what he says. Discovered sites diminishes after a country does this. 222 and this, when you look into the history, 21 were discovered before this. All were discovered before the passage, before these cultural property laws were passed. Then he says these are popular in most countries, but now here comes the main claim. This is one of those passages in which the main idea is somewhere in the fourth, जो भी ये paragraph है, fourth para. This is the author's point of view. Cultural property laws may be popular in most countries, but the downside, they reduce incentives for foreign governments and this to invest in this because the efforts will not be rewarded. To the extent that source countries, let's say it's a poor country, okay, can fund their own archaeological projects, artifacts and sites may still be discovered. Okay, if they can fund. The survey has far-reaching implications. It suggests what? So it's all about this survey. Source countries, particularly in the developing world, should narrow their cultural property laws. They shouldn't make them so strict. They should narrow them so that they can reap. ये should दिख रहा है, यही तो सिखाया था थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने. Claim ऐसे ही निकालते हैं. This is how we locate an assertion, the main assertion. Should. They should do this, they should do that. So he is saying they should narrow the cultural property laws. Kam kar do. Why? So that they can reap the benefits of new archaeological discoveries in the form of archaeological expeditions from the rich countries, which typically increase this. पूरा बंद करने नहीं कह रहा हूं मैं, restrictions पूरा वो, लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत narrow कर दो. This is so beautifully the main claim. Is it clear now? Just go back to the options now, Prashant and Anurag. Go against it and say, no, you are wrong. What is your answer? Bolo guys. कौन सा है? मेरे तो दो ऑप्शंस बच रहे हैं इसमें. आदित्य, अनुराग, मृगांक, किशन. Museums established in this can display. This is not the main claim. So this is out. Yeah. Western countries will have to apologize for looting their cultural property by not the main claim. Main idea? No. Got it? So I'm left with A and D. Affluent, archaeologically rich source countries can afford to carry on. Are they can carry out their own, but they are rich. That's not the claim, मेरे भाई नहीं, मेरे दोस्त नहीं. Affluent, archaeologically rich source countries का तो claim नहीं है. The claim is the poor, archaeologically rich source countries should narrow their patrimony laws so that rich countries can lead expeditions, come over, do excavations and benefit the source country. ये बोला है इसने. Affluent, archaeologically rich countries can afford, okay, करते होंगे. That's not the main claim. Right? So this is eliminated and this is good as your answer. Yes, Ritu. कि भाई तुम कह रहे हो narrow कर दो. No, don't worry. UNESCO comes and finances this research in poor. So the difference between A and D is what? Affluent and poor. देख रहे हो ये? ये. Poor, affluent. That's the difference. Do you get this? Everybody. It all depended on locating the main idea. Otherwise, you would definitely get this wrong. Clear? Main idea की बत्ती जली सबकी. कैसे निकाला आपने? Data, first para bakwas, last para bakwas because it's all about China. China is not the main idea. This para talks should. Okay. Right? So D says UNESCO. अगर country गरीब है, अंकुर शुक्ला. If the country is गरीब, no need to narrow the patrimony laws. UNESCO उसको fund कर देगा भाई. Excavation उसका fund कर देगा. Let them keep the patrimony laws intact. Ahuja Prashant, I just finished explaining D. UNESCO finances. UNESCO fund देगा. Sponsor करेगा. Archaeological expeditions in these poor yet archaeologically rich countries. Do you get it, Ahuja Prashant, or not? Ankur, did you understand D or not? Confirm karo, please. बताओगे मुझे दोनों लोग, अंकुर and प्रशांत. Clear? Okay, fine. Chalo. Stoicism, my all-time favorite topic. 2022. One para, big para, and one more para. दो ही paras थे इसमें. कितना खतरनाक है. But you know what I have taught you. If the paragraphs are big, Prashant and Muskan and Mrigank, you don't read the first line only. You read this much and this much. 2 lines, 2 lines. Okay? 2 lines and 2 lines. Got it? Everybody? So, तीसरा भी था, sorry. Third था. Here and here. What does the question say? If false. Now, everybody in my class has to understand how if false is done. Which of the following if false? Cut kar do isko if true. Okay. Could be seen as contradicting, means weakening, supporting. Opposite kar do isko. ठीक है? So which of the following statements if false? False कोई चीज नहीं होती है. If you have to do critical reasoning, it should be if true. So if true कर दिया, इसको opposite कर दिया. Could be seen as supporting the arguments. So you're looking for CR support, right? The others can be weakening or neutral, weakening or neutral, weakening or neutral. Got it? I have shown you the step. Do not make me repeat it. ऐसा ही सॉल्व होता है ये, ठीक है? चलिए चेक करिए, ये देखिए आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन द पैसेज. तेजस्विनी, इन दिस वी आर डेफिनेटली गोइंग टू प्ले ट्रू फॉल्स. So these are false, we need one that is true. ठीक है प्रणव, पहले तो ये कंट्रोल आना चाहिए आपके क्वेश्चन पे कि मुझे पता है निकालना क्या है. नाउ एवरीबडी, स्टोइसिज्म तो आपको पता ही है क्या होता है. ओके, एज अ कैट एस्पिरेंट इफ यू डोंट नो दैट, तो डिसाइड कर लो चुल्लू आपको कौन देगा. खुद कर लोगे इंतजाम या मैं भेजूं? ओके रियाराज, इन द एपिक्यूरियन, despite practicing in the stoic way, okay, Greek philosopher Zeno, the easiest to verify will be this: name, place, animal, thing, irradiate. You're going to do that, right? Choosing a this first movement, unemotional response is the first movement. I can verify this and this. Got it? Go back to the passage. Do a little bit of reading first. Then we are going to solve the question. Oh, I tend to forget. All right. So listen, first movement and second movement, right? First movement was what? Surprise, anger, reaction. Second movement was controlled, right? Go back and check. In the Stoic view, choosing a reasoned, unemotional response as the first movement is an appropriate response. What should I mark C? True or false? बोलो. Rhea. C. बोलो. भाई कैसा कैसा क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं क्लास में आके. ये वो वाली बात है, राज ने पूछा ये लाइव है क्या, ये लाइव है क्या, ये लाइव है क्या. सब्जी मंडी में पहुंच गए हैं, चारों तरफ सब्जियां हैं और पूछ रहे हैं इज दिस अ वेज मार्केट, या फिश मार्केट में पहुंच के पूछ रहे हैं इज दिस अ फिश मार्केट. या कक्षा में पहुंच के पूछ रहे हैं इज दिस अ कक्षा, और बाकी लोग बेचारे मजबूर हैं जवाब देने पे, नहीं तो वो पूछता रहेगा। करेक्ट, सो दिस इज फॉल्स, है ना, ये हो गया फॉल्स। ग्रीक फिलोसोफर जेनो, चेक करो। कम ऑन, या जेनो, किधर था जेनो, यहाँ है ना, रीड इट। Stoicism was founded by Zeno. Oh yes, Tejaswini. Love you for that. Very good. Stoicism survived into the Roman era. हमें नहीं पता Zeno कहाँ गया, मरा जिया, कहाँ गया हमें नहीं मालूम. Nothing can be inferred. Very good. Very, very nice. So this obviously is false. We are left with A and B. आप खेलो अब, चलो. One will be true. Come on. Between A and B, do you realize one of the options has something extreme? Despite practicing meditation and cultivating the right attitude, emotions cannot ever be controlled. I can simply go to meditation and cultivating and whatever and I can check. Can emotions be controlled or not? सोच के देखो, if I say emotions cannot ever be controlled, this goes against the passage. The passage talks about controlling your emotions under stoicism. हाँ या नहीं? बोलो मुझे प्रणव, ऋतु. It talks about controlling your emotions. You can go and check meditation वाला. Meditation का portion या like when you cultivate तो कैसे वो दिया होगा. चलो चेक करते हैं इसको. यहाँ बोला है they viewed emotions as experiences that needed to be reined in and controlled. Everywhere it's given. ठीक है, आगे देख लो. Cultivating this probability through meditation and the right attitude, one allows emotions to happen, but one is advised to observe without necessarily acting on them. Right? The whole theme for stoicism is what? To control. So B is what? B is false. Again weaken. A is your answer. How is A your answer? We were playing true false, Tejaswini. है ना? In the Epicurean view, indulging in simple pleasures is not desirable. Simple pleasures. I'll simply take simple pleasures and Epicurean. Go back. It's given there. Okay. For instance, something movement, all right. Second movement, just यहाँ पे देखो Marcus. Epicureans का यहीं पे दिया हुआ था. Can anybody locate it? I guess I'm tired now. दिख नहीं रहा मुझे. इसमें होना, हाँ, Epicureans. यहाँ. Correct. Money, power and excessive are not important. Character, rationality and kindness are important. The Epicureans associated held a similar view, believing that people should enjoy simple pleasures but not be indulgent. दिख रहा है? Simple pleasures enjoy कर लो but don't be indulgent. Don't go overboard. ये कह रहा है. Indulging in simple pleasures is not desirable. Okay. Indulging, yes. Indulgence is not desirable. This is true. Done. Question 7 sorted. Question 8. ये कर लेते हैं and then we'll close. Okay, we'll finish the class. Undead 2022. Dense paragraph. ये देखो, ये छोटा para but the first one is very dense. 3 and 4 and 5. Dense paragraphs. ठीक है, लास्ट वाला ये कर रहे हैं. I promise. इसके बाद बंद करेंगे दुकान. Question क्या है? ये कर लो क्योंकि ये if false है. You need more practice with me. ऑल ऑफ द फॉलोइंग, क्या करेंगे इसको, सब लोग कर लो ये, इफ ट्रू। अभी यहाँ पे देखो, क्वेश्चन को डिकोड करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ना। देयर आर, देखो यहाँ पे ऑल, इफ फॉल्स, एक्सेप्ट, 3 दिखाया मैंने, राइट। सो इफ ट्रू बनाया हमने, एज बीइंग इन अकॉर्डेंस मीन्स सपोर्ट था, कट कर दो इसको, एंड वी कैन। आर यू फॉलोइंग मी एवरीबडी? इफ ट्रू बनाया मैंने, पहले ये कह रहा था एज बीइंग इन अकॉर्डेंस, सपोर्टिंग वाला, मैंने उसको ऑपोजिट कर दिया वी कैन, राइट। अब कह रहा है, अब पढ़ो, all of the following could be seen as weakening, weaken, 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 one support या neutral, you get it, correct? The claim is not given in the question stem, Muskan, so we are going to play true false. इतना क्लैरिटी होना चाहिए, इतना कमांड होना चाहिए अपने क्वेश्चन पे, गॉट इट? अब नेम प्लेस एनिमल थिंग इराडेट, शामन्स, राइट, ये ग्रोइंग सोफिस्टिकेशन देखा जाएगा, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम दिस मिडिल एजेस, मैनकाइंड, ओके चलो लेट्स चेक द पैसेज अ लिटिल बिट, रीड। Come on guys, I hope we are done checking the passage. And while we were reading, we could just highlight the words, the important words. We came across those. Chaliye. Now it's going to be so easy for us. Growing sophistication, I know where exactly this is. Check this quickly. Growing sophistication of mankind meant that humans stopped believing in the undead. भाई इसने तो बोला है, so the undead traveled with them. पढ़ो. Right? Tell me, क्या मार्क करूं इसको, C को? True or false? Whatever you say, I'll mark. Riya. No, tell me C को क्या मार्क करना है? Shoaib, true or false? C. We checked C, no? Priyanka, false. Okay. ठीक है? Middle ages to the age of enlightenment. I know where enlightenment is given. Saw new theories of the undead. Here. Don't you think we can take this out in 40 to 45 seconds? Yes, Prashant? Enlightenment का portion पढ़ Prashant. Done? Tell me. D. True or false? Whatever you say, we will mark. Bolo. Ria. Yes, you guys got it. This is true. The relationship between this was believed to be a strong and stable one. Vocabulary पे खेल गया अपना question setter. I'll show you here. यहाँ पे from very early times had claimed at least some power, and this has continued down into this thronged something something, but now as entities they were subject to magical control and could be physically summoned. However, the relationship between this was often a very tenuous and uncertain one. Okay, so वही है shamans, magicians and all ये claimed at least some power, but was it like a stable relationship? Undead creature? No. So यहाँ बोला है undead was believed to be a strong and stable one? No. This is false. Right? ये true है आपका? Yeah? And here, the undead remained vague and ill-defined even as mankind strove to understand the horror they inspired. Did they remain vague and ill-defined? Bolo, Shoaib. Did they remain vague and ill-defined? Werewolf, vampire, ghoul, each one certain to strike fear. नहीं था ना, ill-defined नहीं था, vague नहीं था. Right? Okay. Same passage has one more question. ये 8 था, one last one. ये कर लो. बस बंद है इसके बाद. Conclusion है खाली. Conclusion is so damn easy. Which of the following observations is a valid conclusion to draw from the statement? ये. करना क्या होता है? Lavanya, Aditya, Priyanka. Take the sentence, go back, read it, come back and eliminate. You will love this question. Okay. Primal darkness. Come whispers of eerie creatures. देखो. Right here. Done. Just go and eliminate. बहुत ही प्यारा क्वेश्चन है, बहुत प्यारा एलिमिनेशन है इसमें. And we are done. बोलो लावण्या, आंसर क्या होना चाहिए इसका? ओए, come on. You don't even need to jump back again and again, है ना? Because the sentence is right here. Out of the primal darkness of mankind's earliest years, primal is basic, come whispers of eerie creatures. That doesn't mean they whisper. हाँ, प्रशांत क्या कर रहा है तू? मृगांक आएगा क्या मेरे पास बैठने? ये नहीं है. Come whispers of eerie creatures means we feel that they are there. Their presence was felt. People could feel them. People could just almost hear their whispers as a type. Not quite alive, or in which we can understand, and not quite dead. Yeah. Means it was difficult to understand. Alive hai ki dead hai ki kya hai. So yes, mankind's primal years were marked by creatures alive with eerie whispers but seen only in the darkness. Is this what he's saying? Yeah. Done? Eliminated? Ankur, kya ho gaya? Recently completed your 300 series of last year. That has improved a lot and make better RCs. Okay. Done? Oh, Mrigu. We can understand the lives of the eerie creatures in mankind's early years. Lives of the eerie creatures. हमें तो यही नहीं पता they are alive or dead. है ना प्रशांत? Eliminated. Correct? Long ago, they used to whisper in the primal darkness that they were not quite dead. Oh, how do we know? We don't know they were dead or alive. We don't know. So this talks about lives and this says they were not dead. No, neither dead nor alive. Eliminated. Mankind's early years, primal, were marked by a belief in the existence. It was a belief that these creatures were there, may be there. Existence that were neither this. Such a nice rephrasing ka khel, the way I have taught you, and that's why B is the answer. Yes, done. Everybody. Now, 5 minutes, I'm going to take some general questions. I think Pratik has a question. Others, please scoot. जा करके सो जाओ. Let's enjoy whatever is left of the night. Very good, Ria, very good. More important than getting correct answers was to understand how to handle the passages and the questions. ये बहुत 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 subtle points वाला था. I hope you guys have understood everything. Yeah, Shoaib, Ria and everybody, bye-bye. But the doubt people, stay back. Oh, yeah. Next class, Pranav. पता नहीं, next week ही होगी, but कब ये मुझे नहीं पता. कैसे ऋतु, कैसे कूट कूट के मैंने कॉन्फिडेंस भरा है आप सब में, कैसे आपको डर लग सकता है. अंकुर शुक्ला, VA improve करना is a gamble, so instead focus on short summaries and RCs. Okay. नाइट सेशंस अपने इससे होते हैं 12 बजे. क्वेश्चन 1 ये वाला या एकदम 1, तेजस्विनी? Anurag, I hope all the points are clear, whatever we discussed. Bye-bye, guys. Ankur, para summary, okay. Sentence completion, हाँ वो weak ही रहेगा. It all depends on your level of reading. First of the session, okay. This one, okay. So, what was your answer, Tejaswini? बोलो. And मृगांक, क्योंकि तुमने कूद के बोला ना as second तेजस्विनी. You understood we had to do true false इसमें because it connected with the para but did not give you the claim. So true false में सब तो हमारे false हो गए, एक ही तो बच रहा. You marked B. यहाँ पे बोला है the depiction of Africa in most Indian Ocean novels is driven by an Orientalist imagination of its cultural crudeness. Means क्या कह रहा है ये? Depiction of Africa in most novels is influenced by Chinese, Japanese का सोचना that Africa was crude. So go back and look for the Orientalist thing. See if you can locate it and how much it had influenced. Nikalo. Outward looking, all very different, okay. Indian Ocean, okay, interconnected. Long lasting, okay, South. Geography of this, connected, fine. Globalization. Europe, US, Christianity, whiteness. So where does it say that it was influenced by the way Orientalists thought about ye? Powerful for the representation, okay, African. This does not mean that this was romanticized and Priyanka, you need to message me on WhatsApp. बोलो तेजस्विनी, कहाँ है ओरिएंटलिस्ट वाला? कि अफ्रीका का डिपिक्शन जो था इन मोस्ट इंडियन ओशन नॉवेल्स, दैट वाज इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द ओरिएंटलिस्ट वे ऑफ थिंकिंग, और वो लोग सोचते थे कि ये अफ्रीका जो है दैट इज क्रूड. बोलो. तो ए में मेल नहीं दिया है. लेट्स से यू वर लेफ्ट विथ ए एंड बी. ए तो आई कैन स्टिल प्रूव. व्हाई? बिकॉज ये बोला है आपको ऑफ इन द नेशन और ये वो करके, एंड देन ही कम्स अप विद दिस इंडियन ओशन वाला वर्ल्ड, reveals that is outward looking, full of movement, ये वो, very different from this, anti-capitalist, ये वो करके. And then when he comes to this Europe or US वाला, he says what? यहाँ पे he says most commonly found in fiction, centered in this Christianity and whiteness, and mention places like this. अब इससे connected same flow में he takes it forward and he says this does not mean that Indian Ocean is romanticized, okay, portrayed as abandonment, freedoms are kept from women, okay. So Indian Ocean Africa की बात चल रही है, I agree, but then this women male wala, like, you know, a general thing, it's still okay to go with this than this Orientalist. How will you prove Orientalist? बोलो, समझ में आया? So sometimes you may not be completely happy with the answer. I mean, तुम्हें लगेगा अरे नहीं नहीं, but then मेरा question है, how did you prove Orientalist to be true? चलिए, we are done. All right, guys. I'm logging out. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.